To be honest, it seems like Red Dead Redemption 2 almost had a system that operated similarly to this with the camp. In it is a box where Arthur can contribute money to that is then used for various upgrades through the camp ledger, the majority of which really don't matter that much. And this seems like it would have been the perfect way to incorporate a progression system. Major story missions could have been tied to putting a certain amount of money into the camp funds. This would have given more value to doing any activity that earns money, like hunting, fishing, robbing, completing bounties, and hell, even playing poker. For this sort of change to work, the amount of money earned from every activity, especially missions, would have to be rebalanced. But if done right, it would encourage players to do everything the game has to offer. This would mean a handful of quests that are currently mandatory would probably have to become optional, as it would be tedious to fill the camp funds 80 times or whatever, but given the contents of some of the missions in the game, I don't think that's expressly a bad thing. Along with incentivizing players to explore and engage with the world, it also would have made money matter more. While there are plenty of things to spend cash on, money as a resource never felt that important to me, as the vast majority of items I could buy were cosmetic. After getting some cool threads and guns I liked, I didn't really need money for much, but I kept getting it for completing missions. And because I didn't have anything to do with it, it eventually stopped feeling like a useful reward. Had there been a stronger mechanical reason to spend it, getting money would have felt more meaningful. Now, not all open world games need to have every activity lead to progression. Sometimes it's just about identifying the most interesting aspect of a title and tying it to that. Like take Pokemon Legends Arceus. The game essentially has two forms of progression the player needs to focus on. The first is the progression of the story, which unlocks in a linear fashion as each mission is completed. The second comes in the form of the player's Galaxy Team rank, which increases as they identify, capture, and battle against Pokemon found throughout the world. Obtaining higher ranks allows them to access new areas and command higher level Pokemon. This structure makes it so players can't just rush through the main story, because in order to unlock all the regions, they need to raise their rank by filling out the Pokedex, which means they need to explore the world. Having progression be tied to not only the story, but also interacting with the Pokemon the player comes across, encourages engaging with the coolest aspect of the game, being around Pokemon. While the story itself isn't stellar, and they almost certainly could have included more things to do with the Pokemon, this two-pronged progression structure is a solid way to tell a clear story while also pushing players to engage with the central aspect of the game. I think this approach could have been a solid fit for Horizon Zero Dawn. In my opinion, the game has two things going for it that make it stand out: an intriguing story and robot dinosaurs. Uncovering the mystery of what happened to the world and how Aloy fits into it all is a great experience. And the fights against the robo-dinosaurs, especially the bigger ones, call for a ton of creativity and full utilization of Aloy's arsenal, making them extremely satisfying to take down. The main issue is that these two aspects don't mix all that often. The